Hello and welcome to my channel. Dear students, today I am here to teach you a new chapter. It's taken from the supplementary book of class 10th NCERT. The title of the story that we are going to do today is The Hack Driver. It's a beautiful short story written by the famous American novelist Sinclair Lewis. In today's video, we are going to discuss first of all about the author. Then gradually we will move into the characters that are involved in the story. And finally we will be discussing about the summary of the story. So before we proceed to this characterization, it is good to know about the author. So let's see who the author is. Here you can see on your screen the picture of a man. He is none other than Sinclair Lewis. Yeah, Sinclair Lewis is an American writer and a playwright. He was a prolific writer and has written many novels, short stories, articles, essays, poems, and almost all forms of literary works has been produced by him. He was born on 7th of February 1885 and died on 10th of January 1951. Some of the very famous works written by Sinclair Lewis include Hike and the Aeroplane, Pre-Air, The Trail of Hawk, a comedy of seriousness of life. Sinclair Lewis was not just a writer and a playwright, but he's being remembered for being the first American Nobel Prize recipient in the literature. Now, let's move into the story and try to find out what the theme is here. This is a beautiful short story, and the theme here is it's the story about a young and ambitious law graduate. Law graduate means a barrister. What we call in barrister means a person who has completed his graduation or maybe LLB, okay, Bachelor of Law or a Masters of Law degree, and has moved to a city to practice law and cherish all his dreams. He's very ambitious. He looks forward to become a very famous lawyer one day. Although he was highly qualified, but was not clever enough to read the face of criminals and crooks. The story tells us how the young lawyer was easily fooled by a crook named Oliver Lutkins. So this is the theme actually. Right here you find two people involved in this particular story. The entire story is revolving around these two people only. One is a law graduate and the other is a crook, or maybe a criminal or a man who breaks the law all the time, right, and is being wanted by the court. His name is Oliver Lutkins. So now let's move to the characters. As we have discussed in the previous slides, my dear students, there we found that the first character that we find in this particular story is a young law graduate, right? And here we get to know a little bit more about this young professional. He is the principal character of the story. In this particular story, you find him to be the protagonist, Oliver Lutkins, and this particular character. These two are, and Oliver Lutkins can be called as an antagonist. Antagonist means someone who is playing the role of a villain or maybe playing a negative kind of role. He's called an antagonist, right? So here the protagonist may be called this young professional lawyer. He's a very simple man who believed people easily, a very easygoing man. He trusts the people very easily, right? Although he is a lawyer, but means by professions the lawyers are supposed to be very critical person. They should not be easily trapped, or they should not be easily trusted. But you know, this fellow, as a new and a young fellow, is very easygoing fellow. He believes the people. He considers everyone's to be very simple and kind-hearted. He was brought up in a village and loved the simple and peaceful life of the countryside. When we go through the text, there we will find many times in when the beginning of the story, there you will find that when he came to the city for the first time and wanted to practice the law over there, what he found that, although he was a graduate, he was a graduate, he had completed his graduation in law. He expected a better position in the society. He expected a good earning, although the earning was, I think, handsome, because he was working in a law firm. It was a big firm, okay, and I think the earning was not a matter. But he was not at all satisfied with the position that had been given to him, the post that had been assigned to him, and the duties that were given to him, right? So he used to feel disappointed, right? Because means he would be given petty jobs, right? Sometimes he would be asked to go to the villages to serve a summon to some of the people, right? So in this way, he was not very pleased with the work that he had been given after completing his law graduation, right? So to cherish all the dreams, he had to come to the city. He relocated himself, we can say. The relocated means he changed his location. He came to a city, right? And he began to work for a law firm as an assistant, right? So the rest have already been discussed by me here, right? So now what more we see is the second character, the antagonist, I would say. And this is none other than Oliver Lutkins, right? In this particular story, Oliver introduced himself in three different names. Actually, his original name is Oliver Lutkins, but when he meets the young lawyer who had come to serve him a summon, right? So at that particular time he was working as a cart puller, or he was working as a hack driver, you can say. So he introduced to the lawyer as Bill. Okay, he didn't inform his original name, right? Rather he pretended to be Bill. Clear? And one more name also can be, his surname also is that Bill Magnuson, right? When you go through the book, when you go through the text, there you will find the full name, Bill Magnuson. Okay, so he says that I'm popularly known as Bill, or even people call me Magnuson over here, and I'm known as the, right? I'm the fancy hack driver, fancy cart driver in the whole city, or in my area, right? So as far as the characters of Oliver Lutkins is concerned, he's a very complex personality, a very cunning, a very smart, but he's not a good man, okay, right? He may be smart, but he's using his smartness, he's using his knowledge and intelligence in a destructive purpose, and he's not trying to utilize it in a better way. So from that point of view, we can say that Oliver Lutkins is an antagonist, or a villain like character presented to us by the story writer. Clear? And when the young lawyer came to serve him a summon, he introduced himself as Bill, a very kind, cheerful, helpful, and a generous hack driver. So here you can see that how complex this human being is. Although he is a crook, although he is a criminal, although he is wanted for many cases, he is a he has been sent letters by the court many a times, but he has never appeared before the court. But when the lawyer comes to him to serve him a summon, at that time he pretended himself, okay, and he tried to portray himself as a very kind, cheerful, helpful, and a generous hack driver. And what he did, to show his generosity and to portray his character as a good human being. Okay, what he did, he rented his car to the lawyer, and he helped even the lawyer to search Oliver in the whole city and the village. That they went to different places. He took him to different places so that they can find, or they can look for Oliver over there. Okay, but the truth is that he himself is the Oliver Lutkins. Okay, although that was not known to the young lawyer, right? Now, as far as the summary part is concerned, my dear children, I have tried to keep it very simple. Okay, you may take note of this particular one also, and can prepare your notes accordingly. This would be very helpful to prepare for the long answer questions also. Okay, as well as for short answer questions. So this is very easier one that I have tried to give it in a very simple language, very lucid one, so that you understand it in a better way and interpret it. Now let us read this and try to understand it. Oliver Lutkins is a very smart and intelligent crook in his 40s, means he was almost about 40 years old. Okay, not very old, not very young. He lives in a small and underdeveloped village named New Mullion. This is the place where Oliver Lutkins lived, and the young lawyer had been sent to this village. And when his turn came to go to this particular village, he was very much excited, right? Although means the excitement all went in vain. Means after reaching that particular village, when he went to that countryside, means he expected the village to be a beautiful one, a lush green one, okay, with beautiful roads over there, with good people, right, with everything in the proper shape, right? But when he went to that particular village, he found the roads to be dirty, the houses to be shabby, okay, dull. It seemed that the even the shops were also very dirty, right? So it almost altogether we can say that the overall picture that got created in the mind of this young professional of that particular village was something not good. Okay, he was not pleased, he was not satisfied. Okay, rather he felt that, oh, why I took this job, why did I come here? Okay, so this was the feeling that was coming to his mind, right? But somehow, let us see, move on. He also works as a temporary hack driver. When the young lawyer visited New Mullion to serve him a summon, he introduced himself as Bill and agreed to rent him his cart for the whole day to help the lawyer find Lutkins in the village. So when the lawyer landed or came, he came via train actually, right? He took the rail and he came to this village, right? It was almost about 50 or 60 kilometers away from the city, right? So he had to take the train to reach that particular place. Now by evening he has to go back again, so he has only 7 or 8 hours of time in his hands to complete the task, so that he would be able to find Oliver and he would yes, serve him the summon, and he would be going back to the city again, right? So he was a completely new fellow in that particular area, and he had never been to this particular village. So, and moreover, he didn't know who Oliver Lutkins is, how he looks, and means what kind of person he is, right? So he immediately just as he landed over there, means he was looking for someone to take some help or to help him. And at this very meantime, he found a man in 40s to be very cheerful. He came towards him and he asked for, he extended some help to him. And then the lawyer told him everything, that he has come from the city to serve someone to a man named Oliver Lutkins. Then Oliver got to know that, oh my God, he's come to look for me and he has come to serve me the summon. So somehow I have to some sort of tricks have to be played, right? So then he started designing a game, he started designing a trick, so that the heck means this particular young lawyer would not be able to identify him, okay, and rather he would misread him, or he would uh, take him as a good human being. So he tried to present his characters as a very kind, cheerful, and a generous human being. He helped the young lawyer. He remained with him throughout the day. He took him to various places, like he took him to the fridge shops, right, where usually Oliver Lutkins go and play the poker game with his friends. Then they went to the Gustav's barber shop also, okay. And finally also he took the young lawyer to Oliver's mother. But you know what happens when he took him to Oliver's mother? It was all a plan actually. He was taking the lawyer to his own home. And I think everybody knows that, he is a crook. Even his family members, they must be, sometimes helping Oliver also. Okay, so the same thing happens here with the lawyer. Okay, so when Oliver Lutkin's mother found the lawyer in front of her, she got furious and she was just about to hit the young lawyer with the help of an iron rod. But somehow, on that day, the lawyer was lucky, and Bill he protected, he just protected him, and he took him out of the house. Okay, and he requested him not to go back to that particular not to come back to that particular village again, right? So in this way, he helped the lawyer over there. Now what is more here, you see, Oliver Lutkins made fun of the simplicity of the young lawyer, charged him $2 per hour, and made a good amount of money that day. Okay, so on one hand, the newly auditioned or commissioned lawyer, we can say, not audition, commissioned, the newly commissioned lawyer, he was a very simple, very good-hearted man. Okay, but on the other hand, Oliver Lutkins was very cunning. Okay, so as soon as he got to know that this fellow is new in this particular field, then he started exploiting him, and he asked him that I would be taking $2 per 1 hour. Okay, okay, I would be charging $2 for every 1 hour I spend with you. So in this way, I think he spent the whole day. He must have spent, maybe 8 hours or 9 hours. So he made a very handsome amount of money on that particular day, right? Although he took him to various places, but never let the lawyer speak to the people, and went unidentified. This is very this is really surprising. You may think that Oliver Lutkins helped the lawyer to find sorry Bill helped the lawyer to find Oliver Lutkins. Yeah, definitely he helped him. He took him to various places. Okay, but that was not free of cost. He was paid for that. Okay, and he was paid for that handsomely. He was paid for that. And what happens, my dear children, whenever he would take him to a new place to find Oliver there, then he would never allow the lawyer to go and speak to the people directly. First of all, he would go there, then he would patch up with the people, he would inform everything to the his friends and the people over there in the houses. Okay, then he would come back and inform that, sorry sir, Oliver had just left this particular place. Okay, so in this way he played a trick with this young man. The young lawyer was extremely hopeless and disappointed, and returned to the city after an unsuccessful attempt. So what the lawyer can do, actually, he doesn't know, means how Oliver Lutkin looks, also what kind of person he is for the first time has come to this place. So it was completely, altogether we can say, it was a very unsuccessful attempt for that particular young lawyer. And when he would be going back and informing his boss that, sorry sir, I failed to serve the summon because I could not recognize him, I could not find him over there. Okay, although I spent this much amount of money, I tried my best to catch him everywhere, but he just he escaped from every place. Okay, so he's going to make some excuses over there. And what reply he would be getting from the boss? Obviously the chief of the farm would get angry over him, that he could not even serve a summon to a common man, a village man, a very illiterate man. Okay, the next day what happens, the next day the young lawyer was again sent to New Mullion with another lawyer to help him identify Oliver Lutkins. But the chief got to know that, yeah, definitely he has been, cheated by someone. Okay, because he is a new entrant. Okay, he doesn't know how to, tackle such issues. So that's why I think there may be the villagers must have cheated them. Okay, so that's why the next day he was sent to the New Mullion village again, and this time he was given the accompany of another lawyer who knows or who identifies Oliver Lutkins well. On reaching New Mullion, the young lawyer narrated his companion how a kind and generous hack driver Bill had helped him to find out Oliver Lutkins in his previous visit. So on their way, or after reaching there, this young man, this young lawyer, he narrated everything that had happened with him. He told the entire story, he narrated the entire story, and he told about Bill also, that he found a man, hack driver in the form of Bill. Okay, he was very cheerful, kind, generous. He appreciated his all his virtues. Okay, and he helped him to find Oliver Lutkins over there, right? Then the old, or the another lawyer, he understood everything. Okay, because he knows means what kind of person Oliver Lutkins is. He got to know that, yeah, definitely the hack driver himself was Oliver Lutkins. And he told that, my dear friend, the hack driver who helped yesterday, who took you to different places, and who charged you $2 per hour and made a very good amount of money, okay, he was none other than the man whom you were looking for. He was none other than the crook Oliver Lutkins. So he has played a trick with you. He fooled you. He befooled you. And you have to accept the truth. So in this way, my dear children, what happens, the young lawyer, after knowing the truth, he could not accept it. He could not believe that how cunning people can be in villages also. Okay, because he considered the villagers to be very simple. He thought that the villagers are illiterate people, not highly qualified people. They are very simple. They are not complex. They can be easily read. They can be easily, they are easygoing people. But on the other hand, his expectations, his thoughts were completely different, and the reality was completely different from his thoughts. Okay, so in this way, we have come to the end of this particular story. I hope you all have understood it now. It's my sincere request to all of you to read the story again, okay, and appreciate it. So thank you all for watching my videos. If you are new to my channel, or if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button, okay, and also do like and share the videos. Thank you and have a good day.